welcome back to the Dirt Drive podcast again. And yeah, it's
Hey,
Wookie's
you got me
back.
again.
Uh,
Hello.
we were doing a late night pod instead of an early morning pod because I don't know,
Because
we're
because I
idiots.
lost the battle.
Listen, listen. 8:30 is not that late.
It is for me.
Yeah,
You know
well,
me. I'm not a
it
night
could be
owl.
worse.
Well, thanks for
Could
having
be
me on
worse.
again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for doing it again. I think
Of course. Of
I kind of
course.
like this idea of a little monthly news segment. But
Yeah.
we're still
Yeah,
trying to
totally.
get
For
ourselves
sure.
back to normal schedule. The
Yeah.
shop is still ridiculously busy. I do think this winter we'll get back to our normal programming to some degree.
Hmm.
Between we've got a bunch of content lined up for the SEMA show that's disgustingly from where we sit 31 days away.
Jeez. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Um
You gotta be so stoked.
oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Um we've got we've got a couple things lined up already. Might rent a car and end up in Utah. See how that goes in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
That's in the works. But yeah, no, I mean,
Thinking of renting a car, why don't you tell everybody what we did a couple of weeks ago, you
mm,
and I.
yeah, yeah, not really dirt drive
Show the other
related.
side of your car self.
Yeah, it's the uh, what are we 3 weeks ago now? Yeah, 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago I was actually in Orlando in Florida with Wookie, and I mean you have your own car news to share, but
Hmm.
it was the first time in a while that we were out doing degenerate car things, and
Shenanigans, yeah, for sure.
I couldn't I couldn't bring myself to be in a rental Corolla. So thanks Turo, uh, we got a sweet little Z4, had the top down, pretended like we actually had money.
I thought you
Uh,
were gonna say pretending like we were actually a couple.
no, no, I mean like at the end of the day we only really rode around in it together once, and that was to go to Disney World, which was the second gayest thing we did all day. Or saw
Yeah,
all day, I should say. Second gayest thing
that
we saw all
was
day.
it was. I can't speak on that. I work for the company. I can't. I cannot comment or have any opinion on that. You can
I'm not saying it in a bad way. It was
though.
just you and I riding in a rental convertible to Disney World,
It's pretty.
dressed nicely, which
It's
doesn't
pretty
happen
bad. You're
often.
right. Yeah.
Going to dinner together
Yeah. Went to a nice
was
steakhouse.
not the gayest thing to happen all day. So it is what it is.
We're just keeping the trend alive. That's the story
Yeah,
of our lives.
that's right. Our our,
Um,
our wives approved, so that's
yeah.
all that matters. Um,
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, you had also done the Z4. It was a nice thing because you didn't know that I had a second car,
yeah,
which I surprised you with at the airport. I got myself, for anybody that isn't an off-roading person here watching, I got a 25 Integra Type S, which is the perfect combination of family practical vehicle, daily driver, and also it's got some kick.
yeah,
And Tom
and
had the luxury of following me in it quite a bit, so he heard the exhaust a lot.
and you're leaving out the most important part is it's a manual.
Of
It
course,
is.
save the manuals, man.
It's got to be one of less than 25 new cars with a manual.
I was gonna go less than that. I was gonna say like 10. I
I
could
mean,
be
yeah,
wrong.
I don't know. I know. I mean, I know the Jeep, the Wrangler is still available in a manual.
Mhm.
I would imagine the Civic Type R, if the
Yeah.
Integra is
The Integra and the Civic, both Type R and Type S, they're the
yeah,
same platform underneath, and they're manual only,
right.
which is one of the things I love about like the Honda products in general is that they're just not But they're starting to embrace the EV stuff a little bit with the new Prelude. I don't know if you've seen
Sure.
that, but
Yep.
which is kind of replacing the Coupe SI.
Yep.
But yeah, no, for sure. Having the stick, having three pedals,
Yeah.
it adds to the drama. Which I feel like we both thought with the Z4, it didn't have quite the drama. It
Yeah.
needed a little bit more crackles and pops out of the exhaust, maybe a tiny bit more power, and
I
a
will
third pedal.
say, yeah, third pedal would have solved all the problems. I would have forgotten about everything else.
Right,
But
yeah.
I do fear I've been in the shitbox life a little too long, and I just think anything that isn't gonna break down on me in any moment is basically not enough drama.
That that should be the title of your memoir.
I've been in the shitbox life too long,
Yeah.
or I can break down at any moment.
Yeah, yeah. If it's not on the verge of breaking down, it's not for me.
I mean, yeah, it's working on the deck. I go to move back the truck up so I can start throwing all like the cutoffs and everything in the back of the truck to take them to the dumpster.
Yeah.
Truck's better and the truck's dead. Like I've got I've got the 24 hours of Appalachia event coming up at the end of October here,
Yeah.
and I haven't driven the truck in a month. The trailer needs maintenance, and the Jeep needs to be maintained and prepped. I have 3 weeks to basically repair and maintain 3 out of the 5 road going vehicles in my fleet. Uh,
Which gives me
and
so much
ironically,
anxiety, but I feel like for you, you thrive off that. It's just
yeah,
like
it's
it's
just
the
another day.
challenge.
Here's the best part: the Honda Civic is the least amount of repairs on the list. That '08 Honda, 220 thou,
That's
just
my boy,
just cruising along. I can't.
representing the
I've
big H.
I've hit the time of year where I can't drive a low car because the glare from people's headlights is just horrendous that low. Yeah, I know I'm getting old,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say that is a very
it's old man
middle
problems.
middle to old man problem
Yeah,
for sure. All right, well let's
yeah.
not bitch too much about that, and we'll
No, we're
I don't,
good.
I don't want to
So
lose
yeah,
listeners.
too late. So yeah, the plan when we do these virtuals, I think, just to let the people know, um, we're just gonna basically kind of go through some car news. Most of it will be some sort of relevance to off-roading, but
Yeah.
just kind of general automotive stuff. Let you guys know what's going on. I will do my best to actually be a little bit more prepared and offer some insight on the industry as well, not just car news that we're finding. There's really nothing like we just had a call with the quarterly content creator stuff with the SEMA Action Network. Shout out SEMA Action Network. Wearing the hoodie. This is my favorite hoodie, by the way. It's
Can't see it. Come on, there you
how about now?
go. Ooh, oh, nice. That's awesome.
It says "Come and take it" because
Yeah, that looks
that
awesome.
was. I love this. It's also very comfy. Uh,
It looks it.
yeah, there's nothing huge going on right now. Um, there's a lot of stuff in the works that they're pushing. Mostly the two big ones, which actually is kind of big in your world. Um, they're working on getting the motorsport. What do they call it? There's a motorsport tax credit that they're working with states to push through.
Hmm.
North Carolina and Iowa have both done it. Basically allows motorsports facilities to write off capital improvements, which help them improve the track, save a little bit in tax money, all that kind of fun stuff.
Sure.
And then the other big one is they're working on getting states to pass laws that are anti-nuisance laws that will basically say if that track exists, you can't shut it down because you moved in after that track was built.
Gotcha.
So growing up, like that was a big thing
With Raceway
with
Park, yeah.
Englishtown, Raceway Park.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know how far back the grandfathering goes and stuff like that, but that's all, kind of things. If you're local and like that extends beyond drag strips and road courses, like anything that's considered motorsports, motocross, dirt tracks, oval tracks, all that stuff it falls in that category.
Right.
Um, and then the big one on the national level is the right to repair, right to modify. Um, so within SEMA, the right to modify language is the highlight and the key right now, which is essentially saying the manufacturers have to give us the ability to work on the cars. Right to repair covers more than just cars. A lot of people don't even realize John Deere a few years ago basically locked everybody out of tractors. So if you're a farmer in Kansas and you buy a multi-million-dollar John Deere combine, you can only have that repaired and serviced by John Deere.
Huh.
Uh, there is no parts available. There are no uh, diagnostic information, no diagrams. None of that stuff is available to the aftermarket in that equipment world.
Huh.
Uh, so that's
Is
a
that
big driver.
and that's just strictly to have like full market share control.
Yeah, yeah, it's complete control over, and like believe it or not, this also applies to electronics. Like right now, if you break the phone on your screen, or geez, the screen on your phone, you can go to the hut at the mall and get a new screen put on.
Right.
Right now, if right to repair goes away, Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, whoever, they can lock down all of their electronics and say you have to send it back to us. You have to pay us for repair.
Yeah.
Which,
Does that
you know,
include like warranty stuff as far as like making
ev-
modifications and avoiding warranties and stuff?
yeah, so that's going to help. Like right now, there's the Magnuson-Moss Act, which it's clear enough that it works, but it basically says they cannot void warranty for like they be able to prove that whatever you did to your vehicle created the problem that you're trying to warranty. So in the off-road space, if you put a lift kit on and your transmission explodes, they have to be able to say, well, those springs and shocks caused the transmission
Caused
to
it.
explode.
Yeah.
Uh, so the part of right to modify will be kind of making that language more clear, and helping protect some of those modifications. Uh,
Got it.
the big
That's
the big
interesting.
thing here, yeah, the big thing that like that doesn't apply is we're not necessarily looking like to go the full route of deleting your diesels and cutting your cats off and doing all those things are still going to exist and still apply.
Yeah.
What this is designed to do is essentially give us the ability to make changes for off-road use, track use, daily driver use, whatever it is, without having to go to the dealership to do it.
Does
Uh,
that still, maybe this is the compliance mind in me, but are there still regulations of as far as what those modifications can be?
yeah, so that's kind of what I was getting at. Like right now, it's still illegal to cut the cats off your car and register
Yeah.
it, right? There are workarounds as far as like Florida's one of them where you don't necessarily have to get an annual emissions test.
Right.
So
Go Florida.
well, yeah, it's still officially illegal, but the enforcement of it
But
is
nobody's
the
checking
part
it. Right.
exactly. So this is mostly to protect your ability to work on your own car, because right now the alternative is if you want to take the Integra and you want to, when it's out of warranty, you want to put a bigger turbo on it and get an extra 50 horsepower,
I do.
you either nobody's going to be able to do the tune because the computer is completely locked out, or you're going to have to go to Honda and Acura and say, these are the modifications I want to do.
Gotcha.
I think I don't think there's going to be much opposition to it. I don't, because it would be it would be a big issue industry wide. I don't think the dealerships could handle it personally, just from
Yeah.
a repair standpoint. I don't
Right.
think the
They'll end up
dealerships have
outsourcing it anyway.
right. Well, even just the repair side of it. If you basically shut down every independent shop, right? Like you're essentially saying in say 10 years there won't be any cars left for anybody else to work on other than an OE licensed dealership.
Right.
Or you're going to
Right.
force all these independent shops to go out and pay licensing to the OEs for the software, whatever it is, and that's tens of thousands of dollars, and it's not going to go well.
Is that? I would assume, and I don't know for sure, but I would assume EVs have that issue, right? Where they probably can only be worked
So
on by the manufacturer.
yeah, so Tesla's one of the big offenders of it right now. There's nothing that says you can't get your Tesla worked on somewhere else, but if you do, you're flagged in the Tesla system. So your car will never be certified pre-owned. If you trade it in, that VIN number has an issue. It voids your warranty. Like there's all kinds of things that Tesla does to you if you take yourself out of the
Right.
OE cycle. So
Right. And because it's all just one big computer, they can switch it like that.
yeah, yeah, and like at the end of the day, which I've always found it really ironic that like tech people love Teslas because I don't know if you have any like IT friends, but all my IT friends are Android phone to like they're like that. I can do
Yes.
so much more with it. I don't want
Yeah.
Apple being able to see everything I do. Blah 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 blah. And then they go and get in their Tesla and drive away. And I'm like, if you changed your brake pads yourself, Tesla could just shut your car off.
Yeah.
They could
I
just say, your car's unsafe now.
I have a
Like,
perfect example. I'm not going to say his last name just for his own privacy, but you'll know who I'm talking about. But Josh
yeah,
is Android user, has a Tesla,
yeah,
um, and is an IT guy. And I mean, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met. Can build a computer with his eyes closed. It makes total sense for him. Of course, he was
yeah,
always the person that was like, "Yeah, I'm building my
yeah,
computer for better
yeah.
gaming or whatever." Shout out Josh, thank you. But it's funny that that he had shown me. I think it was his door locking sound was a duck quack.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can change the horn, and then it's all
Yeah.
fun. It's all gimmicky. I don't like the idea of any car manufacturer being able to tell you what you can and can't do with your car. BMW proposed the whole thing of like your like all the options in the car were going to be based on your monthly payment. So like the base to buy a 3 Series would say be $400, and then if you want the cold weather package, that's an additional $200 a month, and then your heated seats are turned on. And
Right.
it's like wait, what?
Yeah,
Like
it's
so you're
too
gonna
much Big
charge me?
Brother.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. We need to rein that back. I do think it's happening. Like one thing that is happening as we speak. Fun fact: by 2029, all new models were supposed to have automatic braking, right? So accident avoidance, automatic braking was supposed to be standard per a law that was written and passed to be done by 2029. There are a handful of OEs manufacturers that are currently suing the U.S. government to repeal that law because the
Why?
car makers are going, we can't do this.
Oh, okay.
It's too expensive and people won't buy the car.
Yeah.
So
I,
I think
I
that.
both our cars have it, and I find
Yeah,
it to be pretty faulty.
it's yeah. The
Yeah,
technology is
there's
just not
times where
there.
I'm just like, there's nothing. I'm not gonna hit anything. And there was
Yeah.
one time I was driving the CX-5, and it slammed on the brakes, and it put me in danger of getting hit from behind, and there was nothing in front of me.
Yeah. So in the aftermarket world, the concern is if you're off-roading and
Right.
you mandate
Sure.
this automatic
Sure.
braking, it you're coming down a steep hill and it sees a log in the road, it's going to lock the brakes up and now you're going to slide down the hill instead of being in a controlled roll. Or
Yep.
if you're on a track, you buy a brand new Z06 Corvette and you're coming into a corner at 140 miles an hour
Yeah.
and somebody goes to pass you and the car freaks out because you're being passed on a racetrack,
Hmm.
if it applies those brakes at that speed to avoid an accident, right? That's heavy braking. You can spin
Right.
out, you can hit a wall, you can crash into the car that's past. Like there's so many things that it's just like yes, in daily driving, do 90% of people benefit from it? Yeah, but that
Sure.
doesn't mean the rest of us have to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know if they're so like, for instance, with lane keep assist. I know that's another like issue where like on a track, for instance, and it's
yep,
pulling you out of the apex as opposed to
yeah.
going into it. But that is pretty easy to shut off in most cars. So I don't know if
Well,
the braking if there I don't even know if there is that option to
so
do that, or maybe that would be a
that's
fix of the problem.
that's all going to be part of this right to repair, right to modify
Mhm.
process is allowing us to turn it
To
off,
bypass it, yeah.
to bypass it. And there's always going to be the disclaimer of not for highway use. So, but you know, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
better than being forced into it. So,
Sure. Sure. All right, so
but,
I'm gonna segue here. So speaking of
yeah.
modified, so the
Oh boy.
first thing, for everybody listening, Tom doesn't know any of the stuff that we're about to talk
No.
about. These are all things that I was
Yeah.
reading about, and I said, hey, we should chat about this.
Tell me about it. Like I know nothing about cars. If there's pictures, I'm gonna look them up on my phone.
Okay, all right. So the first one is is Nissan. It's the
Oh no.
2026 Armada Nismo edition. Yes, yes, and so all right, so I have opinions about it.
Okay.
First of all, it's hideous.
Well, I mean, all right, that's a given. It's Nissan. Nissan hasn't designed anything good in the
Yeah,
last 10 years.
I don't know what they're doing. Well, except the Z. The new Z I think is pretty perfect.
Fair. That's
But
my one
other than
exception.
that, yeah. So
Yeah.
they have this Nismo package on it that looks like the Z. It's got the red trim around everything. It's
We're
done
talking
off
about the
gray.
three the three row SUV.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like the okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. And then has like a Fast and Furious style body kit on it, and all of that is like I can get past all of that except for the fact that they only boosted it by what was it, 35 horsepower. I'm like,
Still V8
no, it's a 6
twin
for a
turbo.
vehicle that big. I believe so. Yeah, I can look in the article here, but it is a twin turbocharged 3.5 liter V6, which I'm not saying is a slouch, but for that big of a vehicle, if I'm gonna get the Nismo version of it, I want it to like punch me in the face and rip everybody's heads off
Yeah,
as I.
I'm
It's
not. I,
so go for it.
I'm not as concerned about the power plant side of it, and maybe for all we know, their branding team is listens to the podcast, and they finally heard me complaining about how every SUV gets slapped with an off-road badge and away it goes.
Hmm.
But but uh, like that just it doesn't make any sense. That's so off trend. One, from a market demand standpoint, whether you like it or not, and two, that platform, that Armada platform, is known as the Nissan Patrol in Australia and
Right.
Africa
Yeah.
and places, and it has a huge following in off road, which is
So to go the,
it's
I mean,
yeah
it's not like the trend of performance SUVs is dying either. I mean, there's definitely a place for that, but this isn't it. This is
yeah,
just a
but
wannabe performance edition of it. So it's
the
like,
the path
what is
yeah
really the point?
the Pathfinder has the Rock Creek edition. Like
Hmm.
they went luxury. They didn't go Pro 4X, which I'm fine with. But like
Yeah.
the Pathfinder, like if you're gonna do a performance 3-row SUV, the Pathfinder makes more sense. Flip flop that.
Hmm.
Give me a Rock
Yeah.
Creek Armada that's got meaty tires and a roof rack, and give me the crossover
Exactly.
Pathfinder lower down on 20s with big turbos.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see
Weird.
where this fits in the industry in any way. I don't see what boxes it checks. It's not particularly pleasant to look at. It doesn't really look any cooler. You know, so
Now
it's just
I
like,
gotta look it up.
yeah, I mean, could it be worse? Yes, of course, but there's nothing. If it's really just
Oh well,
cosmetic and not,
so
what do you have to say?
that's I was I'm learning there is currently a Pro 4X Armada, so that so
Oh,
this is just an
all right,
addition to.
interesting.
Um,
But that makes more sense, as you were saying. My point is, if you're going to make a performance SUV, make a performance SUV. You know, like
I don't
make it
know. I mean,
compete with with the higher end stuff.
it kind of is though.
You
It's
think so?
460 horse. It's 460 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, but you're moving a giant vehicle.
Yeah, but that's on par with the Raptor pickups and the Bronco Raptor. Like, granted, two totally different markets,
Very different markets for sure.
but I mean, again, I'm with you. It's a pig, so like you're not gonna really get a lot out of that 500 horse.
Right. Like,
I will make an argument though. Who else is doing a true full size performance SUV?
yeah, I guess full size. I guess most things are still 5 seater, which is
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
like
like the
it's your
BMW
Cayenne, it's
XM.
your X5.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the new X7, which is pretty big and pretty
Yeah, but I feel like
popular.
that still goes for more of the luxury, like the
Sure.
Alpina and stuff like that, because they've got
I
the
wonder. I bet you. I bet you that's in the 500 horsepower range, though.
yeah.
I agree, it is designed more luxury, but oh, you can lease an X7 for 999 a month if you were curious. Good
I
news
wasn't.
is, good news is, it's only 8,300 down at signing. Who's buying these cars? Okay, well, so I hate to do this to you.
Really, you're gonna. Oh
That
no.
Nismo has 100 more horsepower than the BMW X7.
No way.
375, and that's doing 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds.
Damn. All right,
I
then
I have
I have been proven wrong. I'll take it.
now you are correct. It is. The red is just it's
It's
just the
just
wrong
not
car
good.
for that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
not
the
good.
wrong car.
Like, I actually feel like they should have gone more ridiculous. Like it's almost not ridiculous enough.
I just think just give me the platinum with 460 horsepower. Why do we need Nismo?
Yeah.
Although although there's probably a bunch of race car guys that would tow their 370 track car
Yeah, it's
with
true. Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
they they can only do the family vehicle. It's like, all right, I might as well get my kick out of it.
yeah. Oh, now I want to know what's in this Pro 4X.
Did you also, this is tying back to our previous episode, did you see that the Xterra was confirmed
Yes.
for 28, I think?
Yep. What is?
I can't believe that. Only 375 for the BMW.
I would say the Pro 4X has 425,
Yeah.
33s. So it's a new motor for them, which means it'll explode, but that's beside the point.
Can you, while you're researching, can you look up
Yeah.
what the this, and this is a much more expensive car. I'm not, but just from a performance SUV standpoint, can you look up the BMW XM,
Mm.
which I think is one of the best looking and certainly
Isn't
best
that based
sounding.
on like the 6 though, like the old X6?
That I don't know.
Oh no, it's smaller. It's definitely smaller. It's like an X5, or maybe it is an X6. I don't know. Holy shit, that car's 160 grand.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Twin turbo V8, 650 horsepower. But this is what I would have expected out of like a Pathfinder style build, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Give
I
me
think they're
that
awesome.
low crossover, sleeky, in the wise words of Jeremy Clarkson, rip your children's face off.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly. And
that's what I want out of a performance SUV.
yeah,
I will
one
say,
of my big concerns looking at this Armada is that there's no exposed exhaust, which to me shows they're not really going for an enthusiast market, or they don't know what an enthusiast really wants.
yeah, and there's a lot of that
Yeah, they're trying to hide it.
yeah, and I get it. I I do think the industry as a whole is trying to make car people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like people who aren't into cars look at that and go, "Whoa, that's cool," and then they feel like they're car people.
yeah. You know, I had somebody
Where
in the Integra for the first time last night, and I was like all excited. I didn't say one word.
yeah, but again, and I say this out of love. Like my wife would get in your car
Be like,
and
this
be
is
like,
nice.
"Why is it loud?" Like it's really nice, and knowing
Sounds like it has
knowing
indigestion.
you, yeah, knowing you, knowing me, she would be like, I know it's supposed to be like that, but
Yeah.
her internal thought would be,
What's wrong with
"Why is it loud?"
it? Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm laughing
that's the
because
difference.
I know her and I know you're right.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Is Honda knows people buying Type R's and Type S's, they're not annoyed by that. They want that.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
selling point.
yeah, yeah.
Now, Ford would argue that they are also building cars for enthusiasts, but then they keep putting twin turbo V6s in performance trucks. I we're gonna see a resurgence of V8s. I
Yeah, I
think
was just gonna say, I feel like
it's
with
coming
the
back.
resurgence of the Hemi, it's gonna.
I if the next gen Raptor F-150 doesn't have at least a Coyote in it, they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, people will riot.
I know a guy stuffing the 7.3 V10 Godzilla into a Bronco Raptor as we speak,
Ooh,
which
ooh,
is going to be bananas. Because the turbo platform is just not right for that truck. Like if you're actually using it off road, it, it it works, but it doesn't work. If that
yeah.
makes sense.
I feel like
Anyway,
another time we do one of these, we should get Brady on here because he owns a Raptor, a V6 Raptor.
yeah,
I feel
sure,
like from somebody that also is very knowledgeable in the off-road world and with cars in
yeah,
general and is an enthusiast, I'd be curious to hear what his take is on that. It's a trustworthy source.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I'd be curious to get more. more
Yeah.
opinions on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, all right, what's your next one?
This is delicious, by the way. Shout out
What?
to Citygate Distillery in St. Augustine. It's my peanut butter whiskey. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Sounds good.
It's like a Reese's, but alcohol. All right, so let's go on to the next thing. So this one I feel like you'll have more to say on than I will, but I'm more just curious to pick your brain on it. Is the 2027 Slate truck, which is an interesting thing. It's affordable, it's small, it's an EV, it's an all new brand. They look pretty cool, but I guess my question to you to start it off is: do you think there's a market for that?
Ooh, yes, but also no.
Yeah.
Uh, I think the Slate truck is exactly what the EV market should be. Uh,
Can you
how
expand on
many
that?
how many Ford Transit Connects do you see running around Orlando? The little work van.
I don't know if I take note one way or the other. Actually, it's probably not the right answer, but I feel
Fair
like
enough.
I notice Mavericks more than I notice
I was gonna be my
mini
next
stuff.
question. So the
Yeah.
Maverick became the new fleet truck,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like I know, like my pest control company that comes to the house once a month to spray all the spiders and all the crap. They're in Mavericks now.
Mm-hmm.
That is the market. The market is like the EV market. The place for EVs is urban areas, cities, short drives, high idle time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what EVs excel at.
Yeah.
Where you only have to drive 5 miles, and when you're parked sitting in bumper to bumper traffic in downtown DC or downtown Orlando or New York Manhattan, whatever it is, when you're not moving, you're not using your battery.
Mm-hmm.
That is, well, I shouldn't say not using it, but you're not using it to the extent that's going to
Yeah.
drain it
Yeah.
rapidly.
Right.
So you don't need a 500-mile range EV. You need the small truck that fits in the parking garage that can make deliveries, be a be an urban commuter truck, whatever you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the Slate truck, whether it's the Prius, like that is what the EV market is meant for. Them trying to force it on it suburban moms by building the Model X and the Rivian SUVs and all these large vehicles
Mm-hmm.
that have range. Like, yeah, they work, but they're not. Think about it. Think about your cell phone. They're not designed to be charged and discharged and charged and discharged and charged and discharged. The longer you can keep a lithium battery at a constant state of charge, the longer the life of that battery will be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many times does your phone get to 4 or 5 years old and it's the battery just starts dying quicker,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
like that is an inherent problem with lithium batteries. We've known this forever. This isn't
Mm-hmm.
new science that we're learning. So when you start taking your EV vehicle and you drive it for 100 miles and then charge it and then drive it for 100 miles and charge it and drive it for 200 miles and charge it, you are depleting the life of that battery.
As
If you
opposed to
are
driving at 5 or 10 miles a day and then constantly
right,
just keeping it at a healthy
right,
charge.
yep, and it just it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think because of companies like Tesla and Rivian, the EV became a gimmick and it became a piece of tech like buying the newest phone or newest TV,
Mm-hmm.
and people wanted it, so
Yeah.
people went out and bought it. And now, forget the political side of it. people are realizing the Teslas aren't good cars. They're not super reliable. Rivian's having mechanical issues. Like, and Rivian was, in my opinion, one of the only cars, EV companies that actually built a car, right? Like, they didn't just give you a gimmicky, futuristic looking shoebox to zoom around in. They were like, we want people to use our car. And then they went, and now they're having new manufacturer pains, EV
Yeah.
pains, all the other things. Um, so I think Slate is identifying where EV excels, and I think you'll start seeing them replacing the Mavericks, the Transit Connects, all the small little work vans and work trucks for contractors and whatever other trades and companies that use them for deliveries like.
Yeah.
And that's exactly I think it's perfect. I think they are building the right product for the right use.
All right. So with that, do you see companies like Jeep and Ford jumping on the bandwagon saying, "Oh, this is a great
Uh
idea. We're going to make our own version of this," and just wiping Slate out? You know, like if Ford, for instance, adds another line to their Bronco line of a tiny version like this, the
I
Bronco Mini.
I could see a transit van, like them doing an EV version under that transit badge. I could see the Maverick becoming an EV or a plug-in hybrid. I think I personally, and I'm sure the marketing people at any of the big three or any of the major manufacturers are going to scream the opposite, but I think behind closed doors, the engineers are going, "This is dumb." Like they're too big. Like that's such a big retooling. Uh, and Ford just lost their ass. They built that huge facility to build Mustang Mach-E's and F-150 Lightnings, and then they've just basically turned off production on both of those.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, they're probably looking to figure out how to use that facility. So yeah, if Slate ends up becoming even remotely close to popular, yeah, they probably build a competing car.
yeah.
Um, will be as good, will be good enough to be determined.
Yeah.
Because right now, when you look at Fisker, Rivian, Tesla's really the only one that's come on the scene and I'll argue survived more than excelled.
Yeah.
But from a business standpoint,
Lucid's
they've
the only other
excelled,
one that's like hanging in there, but not
and that's
nearly.
barely,
Yeah, not yeah.
barely like I would say Rivian and Tesla are probably the
The
top
only
two
two. Yeah,
standalone EVs.
yeah.
And Rivian, I think, is surviving off of the Amazon vans. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. So I don't know the answer to this. That's why I'm asking you. Is there any place in the off-road world for these small electric style trucks?
Somebody recently told me that they reserved one. They paid the $100 to reserve one. Um, I wholeheartedly, from an opinion standpoint, do not believe EVs will excel in off-roading, overlanding, whatever. Um, I blame a little bit of the fire department mentality, like always plan for the worst. And how can you plan? Like worst case scenario with an EV is you run out of charge in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Like like you can't plan for that. If I'm planning a trip in my Jeep, I know that I need gas every 200 miles, right? I can bring gas with me, right? Something happens and I idle the Jeep and now I'm down to 150 miles of range and I have 170 to go. 5 gallons of gas fits just about anywhere in that Jeep, right? So if I have a concern of range, I can
right.
easily bring more range with me.
Sure.
What are you going to do? Bring a generator and wait 3 days? Okay, now your backup plan is a generator, which you then need fuel for,
You're right.
and you
Yeah.
have to account for 3 more days out on the trail. So like, yeah, if you're just going to bounce around dirt roads, you know, for a day and you're not really doing any kind of serious off-roading, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it'll, the Rivian will work. A Tesla will work if you really wanted it to.
Yeah.
But for what I want to do and what I see the EV market being, or
Mm-hmm.
the off-road market being, I just don't see a true EV sustains any kind of
Yeah.
real love.
All right. So then, from a market and business standpoint, next question on this. So, in the photo that I have up, anyway, there's like a road tire version, and then what looks more like an off-roading tire version of it. It's got the cab on the back, the roof rack,
Yep.
the spare tire on the back. It looks very Jeep-ish.
Yep.
But at a starting price of 27K being the estimated, do you see that being kind of like a gateway drug in a sense to off-roading and overlanding,
Oh yeah.
to be a little bit
E-
more affordable and practical?
People will absolutely use it. I mean, strictly on the price point, you almost have to, right? Like you have to give it a chance just because
Yeah.
it's so cheap. And
Hmm.
it's like the capability of it will be, I'll be curious to see how it does.
Yeah.
Like that's my biggest question is like, is it worth it? Like it, if there's a big segment of the off-road, I shouldn't even say that, the truck SUV market that goes off-road but doesn't go off-roading.
Yeah.
So, like there's off-roaders, me, Tim, PJ, the guys that want to go bounce off of big rocks out in the woods for days on end, whatever it is. But then you have the mountain bikers, you have a hiker, you have backpack hiking, you have fishing, you have hunting, whatever it is, where maybe you just need to drive 15 miles down a dirt road to get
Right.
to your trailhead and go mountain biking. That's the off-road version
Hmm.
that they're selling to. Um, you know, yes, officially it's off-roading. I encourage people to do it,
Hmm.
but to me, there's a we call it soft roading, right? Like if you're just going soft roading, which hell yeah, get out in the woods,
Hmm.
the slate works. You know, you can do it in a Subaru, right?
Right.
Like it doesn't have to be a Jeep or an SUV. You can do it in a car. You just have to know the capability of your vehicle. And
Yeah.
I think that the slate truck will do well because that market wants cheap vehicles that they can load their gear into and not worry about.
Hmm. I'm gonna sidetrack, but pick your brain on this. And I believe it was one of the episodes you had recently with the SEMA people. They were talking about the one guy with the Subaru.
Yeah, it's an Ascent.
Got it. Oh, all right.
So it's not even a real Subaru, but
It's not. Yeah. So I was gonna ask. As you have owned a Subaru before, your legacy was
yep,
great. And I think that's where Subaru like peaked. In that the
100%.
late 2000s was like peak Subaru.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
they're just so not only ugly but so utilitarian with like all the plastic and stuff. What do you think about that?
Um, they leaned heavy into the off-road stuff like everybody else. They built the wilderness package and like
Yeah.
I don't I don't hate it because it's not like out of the blue for the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's I think a lot of the reason they had that off-road following was their rally history.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I always thought it was a little odd for them to get completely away from the rally side of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not so off brand that it bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, if
Do,
there
do
was
people do people use Subarus? Obviously not in like the trailing off-roading world, but in like the overlanding world, and
yeah,
like just in, I would assume that's still a pretty usable vehicle for that kind of stuff, right?
I would say it is probably one of the most popular. If you took Jeep, Ford, Toyota out of the equation,
Mm-hmm.
I think Subaru fills the fifth spot
Yeah,
for most likely to go off road.
yeah,
Uh,
which is good. I mean, that's clearly what they're building them for. So
yeah,
it's nice that people are actually
yeah,
using it.
I'd be very curious. I would love to get. This would have been a good. This weekend was Overland Expo, which is usually a big weekend for us, where we'll go and spend a weekend and kind of run around. And we couldn't fit it into the schedule this weekend.
Yeah,
But like, I'd love to go to an event like that and get the data of manufacturer because I'd be
mm-hmm.
very like, I can't think of another one outside like I'm like Chevy and Ford, Jeep, and I'll put like Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler together. Um, I like outside of Subaru, I don't even really know like what else
Yeah. What else is there? Yeah.
would be there. Um, so I mean, you'd almost have to do like Jeep, Toyota, Ford, and Chevy, and
Mm-hmm.
then
I feel like
yeah,
Chevy
mate.
doesn't. I don't know why that doesn't come to mind more easily. Like I feel like I
Um,
forget about Chevy in this off-roading world
as a
more
diehard
often than
Chevy
not.
guy, a lot of their stuff is just complete trash. They've taken a big jump forward in the last few years. Like they have AEV um, like builds now, so like you can get
Mm-hmm.
the AT4X, the ZR2. They've been doing those packages for a while with
Yeah,
Chevy and GMC. Um, so it's not new, but
they're just better.
yeah. Well, the problem is they haven't really built a good truck in a while,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I still have my 20-year-old Chevy. Um, they've just been getting crushed by Ford and Dodge from a truck
Yeah,
standpoint, which is why you don't see that many Chevys in general. But yeah, I kind of I got to figure out how I could do this. I'm sure somebody over Overland Expo has that data.
mm, yeah,
I might. I'm gonna do it at SEMA. I'm gonna I'm gonna walk the outside lot. Jeep's gonna win. I'm gonna predict this right now. Jeep is gonna have the most off-road builds.
yeah.
Toyota will have the second most. I'll be very curious to see what rounds out 3, 4, and 5.
The one we didn't, of course, this is me saying this, so grain of salt, but you didn't mention Honda. Honda is starting to get into the game pretty.
Everybody is,
Yeah.
and that's why I say I like I'm not saying that there aren't going to be a pilot trail sport or the new passport or whatever it is, but
Mm-hmm.
I, I think I do think Subaru still surpasses Honda in that popularity. I think they still
Yeah. Yeah.
surpass Nissan. Like without a new Xterra, like I don't see a lot of the new Titans and
Frontier.
Frontiers out there.
Yeah.
So
All right.
so yes, I think
Yeah.
Subaru does a good job in understanding the customer base.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that brings me to the third and final article that I have that I thought was interesting to go over, which is not Jeep related in any way, but it is off-roading related.
Okay.
Is that the that Lamborghini has hinted
Uh,
at crazier special editions of their
uh,
vehicles for off-roading. So tell everybody, including myself, what you think of supercars and these off-roading packages like like the Dakar and things like that.
So the 911 Dakar was the only one that I thought actually made sense.
Hmm.
There's a heritage there, one.
Yeah.
Porsche hasn't exactly thrived in off-roading, but they also haven't shied away from it.
Sure.
So, and again, they in typical Porsche fashion, they did a nice job with it,
Hmm.
right? It's not
Yeah.
ridiculous. It worked. It was functional, like all the things that it should be
Yeah.
in an off-road package.
And they've also proven that they can build. I'll say this carefully. I don't want to say true off-roading, but they're building SUVs and things, so like they can build,
Right.
we'll say, more capable vehicles than just sports cars. I suppose Lamborghini, which
I,
the Urus is not an off-roading vehicle.
I've I've never. I mean, this goes back to the like my teenage days of getting into cars. I've just never understood the appeal of a Lamborghini. I haven't. I don't think they sound good. I don't. I think they all sound terrible. I appreciate what some of those cars are, as far as like the Countach and the Diablo, and just like what those cars were for their time period. We'll
Yeah.
say. Uh,
Oh, pre Volkswagen ownership.
right. I I don't think they've done anything impressive
Mm-hmm.
in years. And like our OG listeners will know because we did an episode when the Dakar came out and the Sterrato came out.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, if you're on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to insert the video that we made. Have you ever seen that video?
I don't know. I mean, I remember having discussions about it, like
Oh,
one on one, but
it's
I don't
on
know.
YouTube.
Okay.
So Lamborghini did a commercial for that off-road. Like, is it an Aventador? It would have been
No, it was the Huracán.
Huracan, right?
Huracán.
Uh, it was just the commercial was worse than the car, and the car is like it's not even an all-terrain tire, and it looks like they just glued light bars on the front of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like they like went on eBay and were like light bar Lamborghini Huracan, and they were and just stuck them on.
Yeah. Feel free to fact check me on this, but wasn't it a Lamborghini CEO or executive that said no, we don't do commercials because our target audience doesn't watch that much TV.
Watch TV. Oh, that's interesting. That's not where I thought you were going with that.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure it
I
was
don't. I don't.
Lamborghini that was it was a famous quote. No, but I could be wrong, but I think it was Lambo, which makes it even more interesting that then they would have a commercial for that.
It was Lamborghini.
Just,
Uh,
and
yeah.
it wasn't that long ago either, right?
Yeah. You need to go watch the parody video we made. It's. I'm
Okay.
still pretty sure it is our number one viewed video on YouTube.
All
Uh,
right. I will
and it's
I will
mostly us
watch it.
showing it to people. Like it's so crudely done. Basically, Tim took the commercial and any section that they showed the car, he put in clips of his XJ bouncing around the woods. Uh, I'm gonna put it back up, but
Okay.
yeah, no, it's there's there's got to be a line. I hate being the grumpy old guy,
Hmm.
but there's got to be a line in the sand, literally in the sand, in the dirt, whatever you want to call it, of things that just shouldn't be off-roaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a 911, small, nimble, powerful, has rally pedigree. It kind of works.
Hmm.
None of those words have ever been used to describe any Lamborghini ever, other than the tractors.
Right. Yeah.
So like why?
Well,
It
yeah,
just
what's the point? Yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, you know where I live, like there's no shortage of exotic cars around here.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, I live in Windermere, Florida, which is it's there's a good high end car culture. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
And I've seen at least two of the new Dakars, but I have not seen the
Yeah.
Lambo. And it's like
Yeah.
it's I I think that
I
says
also
something, you know.
I also feel like their market like has no appreciation for that.
Right, right.
I feel like the
Who is going to buy that? Other than
yeah,
other than a collector that's never going to actually use it.
right. The 911 guys get it, right? Cuz like
Yeah.
there's some history there. Like there are probably some guys that are into 911s because of what Porsche did in was it
Hmm.
the early 90s, late 80s for with Dakar. Like
I actually don't know. I think it's earlier than that. I want to say it's like
is it the
I think it's
I don't think it was
70s.
Whale Tail.
I think it's
I didn't think it was
70s.
that far back. Hold on. 'Cause now I want to know.
I'm gonna guess 76.
Uh, was the 953. You're the Porsche guy. Do you know it?
I think
What
that's well. I'm thinking numerically.
84.
Oh damn! All right, 76 wasn't that bad, but
It might
I
be the
was
same
about to say the
generation.
959 came out soon after that, so I imagine the numbering was similar 953. So
Uh, it was a short-lived model that was replaced in 1985 by the 959.
2 for 2. Look at me go.
So is that a one-off car for them?
The 953.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other variation of it if that's what you're asking.
This is fascinating. Our listeners are going to learn a lot about Porsche 911s tonight
Sorry, everybody.
or Tuesday morning whenever you're listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, okay. So they consider the original 911 to be 64 to 89. The 964 89 to 94. The 993 95 to 98. The 996 was 99 to 04. 997. Nobody cares about the new stuff anymore.
The 996 was the big change point because it was the first
Right.
mass-produced one, and first water-cooled.
Yep.
Everything else was air-cooled prior to that.
So
Right now, I believe the 993 is the most valuable of and sought after of because it's the
yeah,
last
that makes
one.
sense. Air cool.
Also, might be the best looking.
Yeah, that's a hard one to argue with. All right. Yeah. All right. So 60. Oh, this is deep. We're really putting the nerd in the show tonight. Oh yeah, this is. Leave it to the Porsche guys to just have an unnecessarily detailed Wikipedia page. The E series for 1972 to 1973 model years, which was August 1971 to July 1972 production, consists of the same models but with new, larger 2,341 cc or 2.3 liter engine. But that's known as the 2.4 liter engine, despite the displacement being 2.3 liters. This is quoting, by the way. I'm
I
not
didn't
like
know that.
this is
That's
literally
some
what it
deep
says.
knowledge.
The 911E, which is the Type 911-52 engine, and the 911S, the Type 911-53 engine, used Bosch mechanical fuel injection in all markets, but for 72, the 911T, which is the 911-57, was carbureted,
Hmm.
except in the U.S. and Asian market. Like this is, and it goes
Nuts.
on for like it's ridiculous.
Leave it to the
Only
Germans.
Porsche people would be this
Yeah,
detailed on a Wikipedia page.
yeah. Well, if it's Wikipedia, who knows if it's true or not? It's just some dude screwing with us.
I find that car
Yeah,
people
yeah. It's pretty good.
like especially cars that have like collector following,
Mm-hmm.
those guys don't let Wikipedia be false. Just my personal
I'm gonna put that on
findings
a
so
T-shirt.
far.
Don't let Wikipedia be false.
It's fair. Uh, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
that
like
was that was my
this Wikipedia page is basically year by year. It's not even generational.
yeah. Well, for a car that essentially just has evolved, like I feel like
But
that's
also
the only way
hasn't.
to do it.
Uh, yeah.
Sure.
I can't keep. There's 911s. There's 928s. There's just it's making my brain hurt, and I enjoy this stuff. Yeah, anyway, uh,
Yeah,
yes. No, I
I'm a
think
Porsche fan, but I'm not a wizard at it either. So,
yeah.
um,
I don't. I've never liked Lamborghini, so like they could actually build a badass like rock buggy, and I'd probably still hate it.
you never know. Maybe they'll surprise you.
The only thing that's Lamborghini powered that I have a mild interest in
It's a
is there's a
tractor.
guy. No, because after
No.
watching Clarkson's farm, clearly there's shit tractors. No, there's a builder,
Hmm.
Morgan Clark Designs on Instagram, that stuffed a twin turbo Lamborghini V10 in, into a Range Rover Sport
Oh, that's
and
cool.
did full Baja build. Like
That's
you
awesome.
need to look it up.
I'm gonna look
It
it up
is.
right
I've
now.
seen it. I saw it in person at PRI. It
Yeah.
is incredible.
All right.
Just look up
So
like the Morgan Clark Designs Land Rover. It'll come up. It's rear engine. It's like 20 inches of wheel travel. It's stupid,
Oh,
and it's
dude,
yeah.
that exceeded all expectations I had in my brain.
Uh huh.
Oh my
The
god.
part that's crazy, and I don't think it's done yet, but the plan is to have the full Land Rover interior and dash fully functioning.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really sick.
And there's like a movement for luxury pre-runners, is what they call them.
So you
Which
can do all
you
the
know,
all the crazy shit and still be comfortable.
yeah, because who wouldn't want to bomb the Mexican desert in a $1 million truck?
Yeah,
What could possibly go
yeah,
wrong?
yeah. You could get me
Uh,
to do that then. Even I would do it.
so there was a serious conversation with some friends about potentially running Baja. Maybe starting at Best in the Desert, which is or like sorry, Vegas to Reno,
Hmm.
which would obviously Nevada. But one of the off-road sanctioning race bodies, NORA, just created what they're calling the Safari class.
Okay.
It's I should say just creating it. I think they updated the rules. It's basically a street legal class.
Cool.
No cage needed. You only have to wear your helmet on desert sections, and you're limited to 60 miles an hour in the desert. So it's basically a navigation style rally
Hmm.
in stock trucks.
That's awesome.
So there's been some conversations about potentially using the shop Jeep to do that event.
Yeah. Cool.
Would be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that's all I had on my news front. So just
Slow
wanted,
news week.
yeah, I thought those were good things to get your opinions on.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that's jumped out at me as like important per
Newsworthy. Yeah.
se. Um, I mean, we're not. we're not really due for any kind of big announcements of stuff anytime soon.
Yeah. Do you
I have
think?
not seen.
I would assume after, like for SEMA and stuff, you'll have some interesting insights and stories for sure.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. I have not seen anything popping up yet as
Mm,
far as like a press release for an announcement. Um, I've been getting some press release emails over the last few days or few weeks. So some of that stuff's starting to trickle in. So we'll
mm.
see what happens over the next couple weeks. Um, I'm looking through my email real quick for one other thing that I wanted to potentially jog my memory. No, it's all normal, boring stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think the industry's in a good place. I think if you own a cool car or a Jeep or truck, like there's plenty of support out there, so it's
Yeah.
not all doom and gloom. I think if you're trying to buy a new car right now, you're basically SOL. Um, and I think it's going to get worse
Yeah.
in the next. Oh, not really relevant to the wrap up of the conversation, but it was an interesting thing I had seen. The average new car payment right now is like just under $1,000. Where and like so it was, in the finance world, your subprime lenders,
Hmm.
so your lower credit score people who are taking
Yeah.
loans out to
Yeah.
buy cars, 60 it was like 60 something percent of
It's got to be over
subprime
10
lenders.
percent interest.
That wasn't even the interest. Their monthly payments are over $750. So it's like literally the question is who is affording these cars?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the there's going to be an interesting bubble burst, I
Hmm.
think. I think
Hmm.
we talked about this a little bit
Yeah.
when I was down there. So if you have a cool car and you're on the fence about keeping it or not, I am of the team keep it
Yeah.
because I don't think anybody's building a cool car right now. We've basically roasted every new announcement this year,
Hmm.
um, and they're still too damn expensive.
Yeah. Take it for somebody that just bought a new car. It is
Yeah,
expensive, but
yeah,
luckily, if you don't overpay for the car, you can always refi, pay it off
yeah,
sooner, whatever it might be.
yeah. And I like I said, I think if you're a car guy and you want a cool car, wait 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep your cool car that you have now, wait 5 years, or buy cool stuff that's older.
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
the collector market cooled off big time over the
Mm.
last 10 years. I think that's going to come back, just because I don't see the car collector guys spending big money on new stuff.
Yeah.
I think the old stuff that's going to appreciate is going to come back into style.
Yeah. I also think we're in a interesting time frame of like all the 90s cars have hit that antique stage and like have
Yep.
skyrocketed, but the 2000s cars haven't really done that yet.
Yep.
So I think, to your point, in the coming years, you'll start to see some of
Yeah.
those 2000s vehicles start to be
Yeah.
collector's items.
Yep. Yeah. Some of the emission standard stuff is going to start to pull back a little bit, make it
Yeah,
easier to have old cars.
right,
Um,
right.
I know that's on the wish list for SEMA to help. Like it's a little bit tough because they kind of deal with lawmakers and Congress and the
Sure,
Senate
sure.
versus regulatory agencies like the EPA.
Hmm.
Uh, they have some pull, but that's not the process is just different.
Yeah,
Like the EPA can essentially do whatever the EPA wants to do. You know, they can sit there and tell the EPA like, "Hey, we represent the largest aftermarket manufacturers group and we think this is a bad idea."
hmm,
And the EPA can just go, "That sucks." there's no voting on it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's just regulatory is regulatory,
Yeah.
legal is legal. So it'll be very interesting to see the next 2 years for the car world.
I think
We
the
keep.
future's bright. That's just me personally.
I agree. I agree. Well, because we're back to. I really don't think people realized how bad the EV mandates affected current cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
They manufacturers plan for 10 years down the road. They are currently planning the 2035 model years. So, not even 3 years ago, 6 months ago, they were still expecting to be building nothing but EVs in 2035.
Mm-hmm.
So, since 2020 or 2015, 2016, 2017, when all that stuff really was ramping up,
Mm-hmm.
why would they plan to build anything
Other than
cool in
right.
2025
Right.
when they know, like, 10 years ago, they were like, well, it's the death of the car anyway, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
screw it.
Yeah.
So I think now that that's been repealed, that's kind of a big news thing if you're anti-California and California's car laws. Um, the state of California finally shut down their own rule on the tractor trailer stuff.
What is that exactly? Refresh my
So
memory.
they were banning essentially tractor trailers in the state of California. So if it wasn't like a less than 2 year old model, or like there was like all these weird like stipulations that was like you need an EV or like non-internal combustion engine, and it had to be of a certain emission standard to enter the state.
That's nuts.
It was They finally shut it down.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think the amount of oversight that they would need for
Yeah.
that of literally being a border around the entire
Well,
state.
you see the videos on social media all the time of like people with out of state cars getting pulled over in California for loud exhaust and getting their cars towed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they write their laws to be enforced on the highway. So if you enter the state in a diesel truck, you would have just been impounded and thrown in jail.
Crazy.
So they finally were like, "Oh, this is probably a bad idea. We shouldn't do this." So, again, all these things are coming back around to we can finally develop technology that actually makes 500 horsepower without burning 4 gallons of gas a minute. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we can go back to doing cool things with cars and not just being boring robots.
Yeah,
So, I think now that that shift is happening, I think we'll see it.
I like it. All right.
Yep.
Well, that's it on my end.
Yeah, we can wrap it up there.
All right.
Uh, you need your beauty sleep. I'm up for at least 2 more hours.
It is an hour and 6 minutes past my bedtime. For anybody
It's
listening,
Saturday
it's
night, man.
10:06.
It's Saturday.
I like my sleep.
Live a little.
I actually was out late last night. I didn't get home till like almost. I think it was 12:30.
Oof.
I know.
Oof.
Felt like I was a kid again.
I can't give you too much shit. I fell asleep at like 9:15 last. Which is, ask my wife because she was surprised. Like she got into bed and was like, "Oh, are you going to bed?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm tired."
Yeah.
So it was one of those weeks.
Working hard.
Yeah.
Gotta
So.
get that sleep. All right.
All right. Well,
thank you for
thanks.
having me on. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it very, very much. It was,
Like I said, we might try and make a habit out of this, and
yeah. Yeah.
hopefully the industry gives us shit to talk about every month.
I think it will. I think it
Well,
will.
yeah. Still no chance you hop on a plane and come to Vegas for SEMA?
No. Sorry.
Maybe Tim and I will do a news update from SEMA.
I mean, I can call in if you want.
Oh yeah, we can try and do that. We'll figure out. I don't know. We still don't have like a full plan and schedule for the week.
Okay.
We have a couple things, but nothing's like dialed in yet. So,
Cool.
but yeah. So we're still on an every other week format for if you've made it this far into the episode. More content is coming. SEMA's going to be busy. We're going to have a ton of stuff. I know I've said this 1,000 times, but check the YouTube. We're going to start posting some videos on YouTube here. We've got a couple cool builds and things going on. So, yeah. You guys know where to
I'm
find us.
excited for it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're finally at a place where I feel like I can pull it off now. Like,
Yeah.
we're not just getting completely
Hammered.
butt fudged.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well,
actually
like I
have
said,
time.
thank you so much again for having me on. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep. You guys know where to find us. DirtNerdsOffroad.com. DirtNerds Motors, Dirt Drive Podcast. We've got one more episode coming out this month, I think. Yeah, I think Tim recorded it. I don't know. Anyway, that's Tim's job. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Woogie.
Bye.